So let's talk about E3. Now, I just got done watching the Microsoft press conference, and I'm definitely not impressed with the Xbox One. Well, no, that's a bit of a lie. I'm impressed by the technology in the Xbox One. The games looked amazing. Having said that, some of their examples of exclusive games, they looked a bit bland, and basically none of those games that they announced is going to sell me on a Xbox One. Unfortunately, the reason I don't want the new Xbox is not necessarily because of the console itself. I'm a huge fan of the Xbox 360. I've got Xbox 360 collection, which also, almost rivals any other collection of games I've got on any other system. I've had a ton of use out of that. The only thing that might overshadow that a little bit is my Steam collection. And so I was really hoping that the new Xbox was going to be pretty much a really good successor to that. And unfortunately, it just isn't. It really isn't. The only things that maybe got me interested was the new Halo game, because I am a bit of a Halo fanboy. I do like myself some Halo. And that new Killer Instinct game. That looks awesome. That looked so good. Even if it was just a little bit we saw of it, that already showed a lot of promise, and that is just so cool. And it's a damn shame that it's not coming out on other systems. So, but it's not enough to sell me on a console, especially when I'm not just annoyed at the console itself, I'm annoyed at the company and some of the choices they're making. Especially with things like used games, and I know they haven't really expanded on what they're going to be doing, but what they have said so far is definitely not in favor of the gamer or consumer. And I don't even think I'm saying that from just a company point of view, because I work in a game store. I can't say I don't care about that, but it doesn't affect my opinion on it when it comes to that kind of thing. I think used games are a vital part of the game industry when it comes to just getting the word out in general. When it comes to games, some people cannot afford full titles, and it is a very handy thing to have the option there to be able to get a title for less, like months after the games come out. Having said that, I also am a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to that, but considering I use Steam and I accept the way Steam works when there's literally no way of pre-owning stuff, and it's a very, very thin, very unexplored territory, and so I don't really want to get too much into it when it comes to that kind of thing. But I really don't like the way that Microsoft has taken this so far. It definitely looks like they've tried to make the console more of a jack of all trades, and because of that, it's suffered in a lot of ways. I'd like to know what you guys think. I'd like to know what you guys think of the Xbox One. First of all, do you think you'll be buying an Xbox One? Second of all, if so, why? Or if not, why? I'm curious to know what your opinions are on the whole, on Microsoft dealing with Xbox One as a whole, and what you think of the console. Of course, this is being recorded before I've seen things like Sony's conference, so I'd like to see how Sony are able to stand up against this. I'm interested in seeing it because the PlayStation 4 definitely looks like the way I'm going to go this generation. I've already got my Wii U. I'm very happy with my Wii U purchase, especially now. But it definitely, Nintendo have had a slow start, but I honestly think it's going to pick up as the games start coming out. They're going to be announcing a new Smash Brothers, a new 3D Mario, a new Mario Kart. All good, first-party titles for most Nintendo fans, essentially. Providing you don't mind Mario. Maybe they've overplayed Mario a tad bit with all this coming out and such. And I've got my 3DS. I love that thing. Lots of games on that I want to get that I haven't had a chance to yet. So Nintendo are good in my books. They're not the best, but I definitely think when it comes to the company thinking about the gamers and their consumers and generally just have a decent attitude about the whole thing, Nintendo are definitely the way to go. Until we hear more on PlayStation. And so I'm glad I've got them. I don't know about Xbox. It's some of the options, some of the things they've chosen. I'm not necessarily using the right words here. Some of the things they've chosen, like the always having to have internet connection, being able to connect once every 24 hours, that's going to hurt a lot of more people than they think, I think. Because I know plenty of people that don't connect their systems online because they either can't or because of just personal choice when it comes to their kids, I suppose. Because I do know, since I work in a store, I've had conversations with parents that are just like, oh no, we don't let them go online because of just, people in general in the Xbox community like to generally be a bit rowdy every now and then. But I just know that it will affect a lot more people than they think. And it kind of sucks. And I can't have room for a Kinect. I know now they've confirmed you don't need it to be connected at all times. At least that's the last thing I heard. I'm not sure if anyone's heard any different. But the bit that worried me about the whole conference... I'll go through the key points. The key points of the conference were... The games were kind of... meh. Nothing that drives a console for me. I know Halo and all that are going to be enough to drive a console for some people. The only other games that I really like look of, Killer Instinct, Halo 5, and also Spark. I'm hoping, since they mentioned Windows 8 at some point during that it's going to come out on PC. If that comes out on PC, I definitely have no reason to get an Xbox. And Titanfall looked pretty good, but I want to see more about that before I really make my decision, because it just looked like another shooter. So, we'll see. I really liked... More games need ejector seats. More games need that. But anyway, in general... Oh no, I liked the Twitch TV integration. It is a shame that PlayStation couldn't get that, but they've got Ustream. But I can just do it through Twitch in different methods anyway, so that doesn't really matter too much. But it is cool that Xbox have done that, and that Twitch have partnered up to be able to do that. So there were some good things about this conference. In general, the bad things were... It didn't look... The games didn't appeal to me, I suppose. They didn't sell me on the console. A lot of things kind of looked... meh. In general, I think what worries me the most is that they didn't try to clean up the mess that they've made with their release, with their reveal press conference, and what people have been saying online, and, with their current updates on their website telling you details about them. They didn't clarify it. They didn't try to say, no, we're not doing that. So they've just left it open for more speculation, and it's going to hurt them more. They really should have nailed down some actual info if they want to try and secure those people that have doubts. And this was the problem. All of these things, bad things I've been hearing about this new Xbox, like the restrictions they're putting on people. If you haven't seen, I responded to, or I sent a tweet out to Angry Joe saying that I watched his rant about the whole thing, although I wouldn't go as angry as he did, because he's been a big Xbox supporter as well, like myself. I definitely don't agree with a lot of things they've said or are doing. So, I don't know. I'd love to know your opinion. Plus, the big nail in the coffin for me, that price. Fuck off. $499 US, $429.99 pounds. 430 quid. Are you serious? No. This was, that was the bit that just nailed that coffin shut. No way. I am not buying that. I am not getting that. I'm not saying I will never get an Xbox One. To be honest, I will probably grab one for some of the games, but it will not be until a couple of years after it's out. Unless they make some vast improvements and a price drop, which I imagine will probably happen just because of consumer feedback. I might get one later in the years. Like, a couple of years from now, when there's a lot of games out that I might actually want to get for it. That's what I did for my PlayStation 3. I waited, 3-4 years after it's come out before I actually started getting stuff on it. So, I don't know. But these were my thoughts. I originally thought I'd be a bit more up in arms about it, a bit more angry about the whole thing, but I don't really get upset about all this kind of stuff, not like some people, because I generally keep an open mind about it. But I definitely do think that they need to fix a lot of plot holes in their story. They have dug a grave, and so far they are trying to climb out with a plastic spoon, and it is just breaking under the pressure, to be quite honest. I will probably do another follow-up video either later today or tomorrow with my thoughts on the other conferences. They will be separate videos in case you want to know, separate ideas, I guess, if you want to just skip to a certain one and not bother with another. This will hopefully be going up before I watch the EA. Is it EA? I think it might be EA. EA conference, which I'm looking forward to. Tell me what you think about Xbox One, and tell me what you think about Microsoft. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.